You know, guys, I've got quite a bit of Toyotas here, and I've actually starting to buy a lot of Solaras. I'm finding these things are starting to become more available than Camrys. So I actually got 3 Solaras here, another Solara over there. We're getting a lot of V6s and a lot of V6 manuals. So this one here is just a V6 automatic, but still a Solara, still a Camry. That one's a 4-cylinder automatic, that one's a V6 manual. V6 manual over there, and I got other stuff like the Pontiac and the PT Cruiser. I got the Mercedes still. Element's just scrapped, don't worry about it. But I got all this other stuff here, and I got all these Camrys, and I got Camrys over there. And the coronavirus looks like it's actually getting worse here in Ontario, so I really don't think there's going to be a whole lot of derbies in 2021 around me. And rumor has it some of the local fair boards are not doing so well financially than others. So a rumor has it that a couple smaller fairs are going to be closing down in 2021. But we'll have to see if any of that's going to be true or not. But what I'm trying to say is I've got all these cars, all those cars over there, and this one here is junk. It's done. There's nothing left of the back of the car. The front of the car has been pulled straight. I see a lot of people on the internet raffling off their used derby cars, and I actually don't even want to do that with this car because it's pretty beat. Like, if I raffle this thing off and somebody gets it, is it worth it? I really don't think it's worth it. And you know what, I don't really want to sell garbage to somebody because then they're going to say that I sold them garbage. The subframe's kinked on it, the frame's garbage. It's cut so much shorter that where you can run it now in Ontario is kind of like always a toss-up. The doubles are garbage. And you know what, I did just put a lot of time into fixing this thing, but why am I keeping it? I got like 30 other derby cars here. Cage had to be cut to run at the show it was at. The electrical is just kind of thrown into it. This car was built 4 years ago. The seat's broken. It's filled with twisted T's from Steven because, yeah, it's Steven. And, like, realistically, the rear subframe's folded in half. And it's pretty much just garbage, to be honest. So I think I've made the hard choice, and I'm going to scrap this car. You know, so I ran the car in Beaton. I got second in Mini Smash. I ran it in Owen Sound and got first in Mini Smash. And then I ran it in Penetang where it didn't really run right. And then it was ran again in Aurelia, where again it didn't really run right by Steven. So I ended up swapping the motor, and then Steven ran this car at the Aurelia Summer Demolition Derby, where it did really good, but it just bent a control arm and spit out an axle and bent a tie rod, broke a tie rod. So, you know, the car's been ran 5 times. You know, I could probably get another run out of it at like a small local show, but the problem is I'm just storing this stuff and I'm not doing anything with it. So I think I'm just going to scrap this car. So I think I'm going to back this car out and I'm going to put it down, you know, strip it down, get all the pieces out of it. It's a hard choice for me. It's a car that I know I could take to a small show and have fun with. I probably wouldn't win, but you know, this is a great car for like Dundalk or like some of the smaller shows around me, but it's not worth keeping for me anymore. And it's a tough choice, and you know, I got lots of other cars. It's just, I don't think this one's any good. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull it in the shop. Actually, we can't go in the shop because I got something else in there, but we're going to work on it outside. Today's probably one of the last nice days of the year. It's got snow on the ground. It's only about -4 outside. So we'll be tearing her down. Going to save the motor, transmission, tires. Steven's shifter's got to come out, the switch box, the fuel lines, the battery box, the fire extinguisher, the window bar, the ratchet straps. Might even try to cut off Steven's little shifter bracket for him. Header, motor, axles. I might just drop the whole subframe in this thing. That's probably what I'm going to do. But, you know, it's been a good car. I don't really want to let it go. It's been a really good car. I've ran it 5 times. It's never really let me down. It's always started. Like, it's sat here for frick, I don't know. It's been here for 2.5 months, and I bet you it'll start up right now. Will she start? It'll make it a lot easier if she starts up. Fuel pump's turning on. Yep. Like, she still runs good. Well, let's pull her out. But I got the fuel pump off. I'm just draining all the fuel out of the system. Slowly gonna die. We're gonna start tearing this thing apart. I'm gonna pretty much take everything out of the back that I want and then just drop the sub and then use the Suzuki to maybe pull the car back. There, she's starting to go. There. So she's got no fuel in it, so I won't be sprayed with fuel in the face. But I think it's time. You know, you got to know when to call it. And this car here, it's been really good. The whole passenger side's been pounded in. You can see how far the passenger side's been pounded in. And the driver's side, the driver door's been hit so many times that it's extremely hard to get in and out of this car now. Even with that driver's side inside bar, it's still been pounded in quite a bit. I'm not even going to cut the cage out of this thing. It's been kind of had to be cut apart so many times to run different shows. So, yeah, what we're going to do is just pull this thing apart today and maybe get it on the trailer. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Well, that really didn't take that long. We got the motor out, we got the transmission, the axles, the struts. Those have all been pretty much put away. They're motor's just over there, the steering rack's on the ground. So we saved the steering rack. I saved the throttle cable for a different project that you might have just seen there, but I haven't done any videos on it yet, so I don't want to ruin the surprise. I was going to save the rear spindles, but then I went and I counted, and I got like 6 sets of rear spindles back there. Plus I got that set right there, so that's 7 sets of rear spindles. I don't need to save anymore. Just throwing out a whole bunch of stuff. Steven's coming over this week and we're going to try to do a little bit more insulating inside my garage. So we're going to, I just needed to clear some space pretty much. I threw out a whole bunch of shocks that were no good. So I think this weekend we're going to try to take all this shelving unit down and insulate right here and all the way up there as well. So there'll be a lot of stuff to working out and moving inside here, so I'll probably start on that tomorrow. As you can see, I kind of been pulling stuff out and throwing stuff into the car. But the motor runs, and you know what, this has been my old faithful motor. It takes a while to shift, but you know what, it smokes quite a bit, but it still has never let me down. So I gotta save it. You know, this thing here, I gotta save it. And is turquoise close enough to green? That's black. I think this is close enough to green. I don't think that's the right lid for this. No, that's definitely plasti dipped. That's definitely not the right lid. There, this one looks like the right lid. Gonna be upset I'm using her paint. Whatever. It's in my garage. It's my paint now. I'm gonna take the key from the PT Cruiser. Good. So yeah, this motor is definitely going to be, oh, hopefully I don't lose that. We're going to put this motor into storage and pretty much just get ready for 2021. But you know guys, that car there, because of how many more cars I have, it didn't really make sense to keep it. Just get rid of it. So we got her all stripped out and she's ready for scrap now. Kind of a sad day, you know, I've had that car for a while, and that was my first ever actual sponsored car. That when the time came for the sponsor to fulfill their half the bargain, it's the first time they didn't back out. If you guys have been watching this channel for a lot, I gave away a couple stuff with sponsorships in the past, and every time it came time for them to fulfill their promises, they always backed out. So it was super nice to actually have my FM come through. They offered me $150 to sponsor me, and I said sure, and they were collecting money for the Royal Victoria Hospital in Alliston, and when they ended up giving me my $150, I donated it right back to the cause, because you know what, I'd rather try to help at the hospital, and it was just really nice for somebody to actually try to sponsor us, sponsor Zach's Workshop and me personally. So I really like that. And then I ran the car with those same MyFM a couple more times and kept sending the radio station photos of every time I ran it, until Steven took it to this show. He wanted a different color just because of how big it was, how big the show was. But you know, I was super happy about this car, and it's sad to see it go, but you know what, it's just not worth keeping it for another year pretty much, because I don't know what 2021 is going to hold, and we got lots of stuff half built sitting here. So goodbye, my friend, see you another day. Take care, everybody. See you back here tomorrow. The PT Bruiser's here to say, if you guys want a free giveaway here on Zach's Workshop, all you got to do is follow the links, leave a comment, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and you could win this prize pack. It is a figure 8 demolition derby car prize pack. You got little cars and everything. It's our little way of saying thank you for watching, and 9,000 subscribers.